again and live long and prosper. I'm doing a Star Trek movie today. I'm finally doing the 1996 30th anniversary for my favorite of the series, in my opinion, Star Trek First Contact. It is the Blu-ray that came out. I have the DVD in here. This is an hour and 50 minutes, so it's not 2.5 hours long. Let's get started, shall we? Let's go boldly go where no man has gone before. I haven't seen this movie in a while. And yes, this was my Star Trek going up. The Next Generation was my deal. Here it is, First Contact. Patrick Stewart. We still got him. Jonathan Frakes. Brent Spiner. LeVar Burton. We still got him too. Michael Dorn. Good cast. Alfred Woodard, yeah. James Cromwell. Actor, you got the Borg. The score is amazing. Rest in peace, Jerry Goldsmith. I miss you. Hey, Jonathan, fanboy. Hello. This is a sci-fi film set in space. I can't really say that. Unlike Rogue One, this movie doesn't force diversity. No, it's a diverse cast, like the original show movie, like the original Star Trek. But Star Trek didn't have to force gay agendas and foreigners in it. And unlike Starfleet Academy, this new movie knows what it is. It's a continuation of the Next Generation story. hmm There's Jean Luc Picard. Because I saw Patrick Stewart in this before X Men in the year 2000. It's a great shot. Look at these effects, man. This movie beats the crap out of any movies. Well, half of the movies that came out from Disney the last couple years. Oh, Resistance is futile. Yeah, this one's my favorite Star Trek movie. Yeah, it is. I love Wrath of Khan, but I didn't grow up with it because again, it came out before I was born. This one came out in 1996, the same year as Independence Day. So sci-fi was huge in the 90s, in the mid 90s. It was huge. Besides, Shatner wasn't American either. He's Canadian. That's the Enterprise. Hmm. Yeah, this, this, and even Nemesis, which is underrated, is better than the sequel trilogy because at least Nemesis ended. It wasn't 2.5 hours long. I like these actors a lot. It was like an episode of the show, but with a bigger budget and much longer running time. Because I'm never watching Starfleet Academy. It's just woke garbage that they put on a streaming service. I've been watching the original Star Trek. I saw the entire series of the original, even though it's way too slow for me. And I'm the cartoon from the '70s. Mm-hmm. Is that at least the episode? The music is nice, and I know Spock is not in this movie, but it's still in the same universe because Generations had actors from the original show. A couple of them, not Leonard Nimoy didn't come back until 2009 when J.J. Abrams rebooted it, and I don't want to talk about J.J. Abrams. He hasn't directed a movie in years. And also, this movie is an hour and 50 minutes. Not 210, not 220, not 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's short. It's long enough to be entertaining without being over long. Because Last Jedi felt like it was 3 hours. I'm like, oh my god, you're not Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Excuse me, that was an epic. That was a movie that was really good. And yeah, it's really long, but it's a good middle chapter. It didn't do the third chapter in the same story, you know? Also, this movie doesn't play for laughs. That's Neil Madonna. Yeah, he's in this movie too, but he has no big part in the film. He's a background actor in this. I do like the costumes, the red and the blue costumes from the original more than these gray costumes because the gray's kind of a boring color. Am I gonna do Insurrection and Nemesis? Sure, but not this month. I'm doing this first, and then I could do Insurrection in May or June. But I'll have to stream it because I don't own Insurrection. It's just dull. They give Jean Luc Picard a love interest that's only for one movie, and it leads to nothing. It's just a huge. The villain is the best part of that movie. F. Murray Abraham as the villain is a great villain in a really meh movie. I prefer Nemesis because it was less boring. It has flaws, but it's less boring. Yeah, I love Brett Spiner. He's so Oh yes, I love that line. To hell with our orders. He's a good actor. Like I liked him in Independence Day, but they didn't need to bring him back for a sequel that no one asked for. I love the theme song for this show. I love the song. I like it better than the one from the original show because it's more iconic and I remember it. Hell, they used the Next Generation music in some of the early Star Trek movies in the 80s, in the 70s, 80s, and the early 90s. There's Worf. This movie's so iconic, man. It's 30 years old, and it still looks like a movie that would come out today. Because Project Hail Mary owes a lot to movies like this and Star Wars. Because if sci-fi wasn't so profitable, because people love space, let's face it. That's why Mario Galaxy's making money, you stupid critics. People love space and the exploration of the stars and galaxies and planets. We love that. I can't get enough of that. I can see this until I'm 90, guys, because I'm never going to go to space. So I like to see it on the big screen and see how beautiful it is. The sun and the moon and the stars and the planets. I love seeing that. It gives me a thrill that I don't ever get from being on the ground. That's awesome. Look at these effects, man. They still hold up. This is 1996, and it looks better than that terrible War of the Worlds movie from last year. Ooh, that looked like an asylum movie. Yes, sir. Still the better. He's still the better Charles Xavier than James McAvoy. I just didn't buy him. McAvoy was a jerk, and I didn't care about his version. I know that Xavier had flaws, but making him a drunk idiot was not for me. I prefer Patrick Stewart's more warm, sensible, understanding version of Charles Xavier. He was tough, but he wasn't a pushover. I have at least one sci-fi movie in every year that I've seen a movie in my top 10 list. At least one, because Superman, that was a sci-fi movie, a sci-fi action movie, because he starts on Kryp he's in the snow, and he does travel, you know, from one place to another. Worf. See, he's black, and they didn't dwell on it because in the original show you had Uhura, who was played by what you call it, Nichelle Nichols, and I miss her a lot. I would love to meet Jonathan Frakes at Comic Con. He could sign my Blu-ray. He also directed the those fun librarian movies, the movies, not the TV show. I don't think he did. I think he did one episode of the TV show, but the movies were fun for what they are. Neil is the only actor I don't like in this movie. Everybody else I think is really good because he wasn't even in the show. Earth. Even the Sonic movies are kind of sci-fi ish because Sonic is an alien from another planet. So, and the last movie had a big Death Star looking thing. So yeah, I always have a sci-fi movie on my list at least once. Except 2020 because there was no movies. There were three movies that came out that I got to see. I saw the first Sonic, Bad Boys 3, and RoboCop 2's re-release. Yep, they're going through a time hole. Here we go. We're on planet Earth now with James Cromwell. Yeah, this is what he did after Babe in the 90s. That's what I knew him for when he was a when he was like middle aged. Look, a dog. There's Humphrey Woodard. You guys probably remember her from Civil War. Captain America: Civil War. She was the mom that lost her son. She was mad at Tony Stark. And Cromwell was in Spider-Man 3. Yeah, a different Marvel movie, but still. Yeah, me neither. Yep, it's the Enterprise. It's landing on the. Well, that's a spaceship that's attacking them. For it's not the Enterprise. It's another spaceship attacking. My first convention was a sci-fi convention. Good stunt. Real fire. There's some CG in the movie, but it's mostly for the spaceships. That's the Enterprise. Well, we were not in the 21st century in 1996. Hmm. That's a lot of people, man. See that thing is attacking This is before the prequels came out, by the way. The All the Star Trek movies in the 90s came out before Phantom Menace. You had six Generations, this one, and Insurrection came out like a year before the Phantom Menace. Pretty much took the world by storm because it was the Star Wars movie I grew up with. Because it was the one I saw in the theater. I will never forget it, man. I was 14 years old and I was like, wow, I'm seeing a Star Wars movie with a crowd, not at home on a TV. It's not the same when you watch it at home. Hey, that year hasn't happened yet. 2063. I don't know if I'm going to make it to that year. We went past 2023, but 2063, that's like 40 years from now. It's about 40 years from now. Yeah, see, Neil Madonna does nothing in the movie. This I liked how the Next Generation is not a copy of the original show. It's got its own captain. It's got different characters played by different actors, and they're not copies. Data's an android. He's like Vision, Josh from WandaVision. I'm looking forward to Vision Quest. I know a lot of people like it's not going to be WandaVision. I'm not expecting any Marvel show to be WandaVision from now on, whether it be on Disney Plus, Netflix, the old Netflix shows, or the new Spider-Man that's coming out on Amazon Prime, the film noir Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Don't dash my hopes. Winter was a depressing, boring season where nothing happened and it was a bunch of snow and kept me in the house. Hell, today is very cold. It's 32 degrees and it's spring. It's supposed to be 62, not 32. There was a freezing warning from now until like tomorrow, but I'll be okay. I'm here, toasty warm in my house, doing a podcast for you guys because I was supposed to do it yesterday, but then I had to do laundry, so we ran out of towels to take a bath, so I had to wash my towels at home. I'm looking forward to stuff coming out in April, May, and June. You got the Stranger Things cartoon. You got more episodes of Star Wars, Maul's Shadow Lord. You got May has the new Spider-Man cartoon TV show. So yeah, there's some curse words in this. This is a PG-13 movie. Most of the Star Trek movies were PG in the 80s and the 90s, but this was the first one. I think the first or second one that was PG-13. Yeah, for sci-fi action, adventure, and violence, and some curse words. This is before the MCU had you can't kill him. He's not. He's an android. Not gonna feel that. This is before the MCU. Like their first PG-13 was Iron Man. About 12 years later, and I think And Alfred Woodard is not a British chick, which nowadays this would be a British chick, that boring Cynthia Erivo, or that British chick that was in The Acolyte. She was horrible in Tron Ares. See, that was a sci-fi movie. Why was it boring? Oh yeah, because Jared Leto was a zombie in the movie, and I was bored out of my gourd. I was like, please let something happen. Please let something interesting happen. The first half was so dull. Yeah, Tron Legacy was a better movie. Yep, beaming. I like that. Look at that blue alien. This is amazing. Before Guardians of the Galaxy, this is what came was in theaters back in the 90s. And this movie's so awesome. I love this movie so much. It's my favorite, easily. Right above Wrath-Khan and 4, and and of course the Beyond, which is, I think, is one of the best Star Trek movies, most underrated. It was Beyond before Spider-Man is gonna be Beyond. Wink wink. Because that's gonna be beyond crazy if it's like 3 hours long. I hope it's not 3 hours. Please. Please, Sony, don't make a 3 hour Spider-Man movie. I'm not asking for that. 2 hours is fine, but over 3 hours, no. You're not James Cameron. You don't have to make movies too long. Jonathan Frakes knew not to make this 2 hours because there's no reason for it. Independence Day was over 2 hours. Hmm. Yeah, it could, because when I touch my dog's ears, she's so soft. I love those ears of hers. They're like Cocker Spaniel ears. It's the softest things I've ever touched. The only thing softer than her is a bunny rabbit. Why don't Star Trek actors go to the convention? Because I haven't seen any. I mean, you had some from the J.J. Abrams movies. You had Carl Urban last year, and you had what's his name? Chris Pine. No, I don't think he's been there yet. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Simon Pegg. He was there. He was Scotty in those films. But why don't they have Chris Pine or Zachary Quinto or even Zoe Saldana? Would be amazing. Because the original Sulu was supposed to go to the convention last year, but he didn't show up. You know what? Well, not James Hong. George Takei. He was supposed to come to the Comic Con, and he didn't. He never showed up. The Borg is an intimidating villain, and the makeup looks amazing. It really is. Because Alice Krieg is unrecognizable in this makeup. Her reaction, it's kind of like Alien. They go through a shaft, and there's an alien. Yeah, he felt it. He was great in Multiverse of Madness. I have to do that one in May. I can't do it in June because I can't do any movies that have anything gay in it. Can't do it. Sorry, guys. I don't float. That does not float my boat. I don't celebrate Pride Month because I'm not in that group. It's not for me. I celebrate Earth Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, and Flag Day and Father's Day, but I do not celebrate Pride Month. This has a diverse enough cast. It doesn't need like someone Asian or someone Spanish or someone German. No, it's got enough people in it. Star Trek is also always supposed to be in space because they're in space. It's not an Earth story. It's not Angels in the Outfield, which is in the real world. Well, mostly. It's still a fantasy world because it's Disney, but encrypted. Encrypted. You had to wear that silvery makeup and contacts. That must have been a nightmare to film for 4 films and the TV show. I would have said no because I don't like wearing I don't like wearing makeup all the time. I haven't worn makeup in a long time. And contacts, I've never put contacts lenses on. See, there's an Asian woman, but she's a side character. Diversity only works when it feels like it fits that timeline. Putting black people in Beauty and the Beast the remake, it made no sense because they weren't free in the 1600s or whatever. Hey, Robert Picardo, yeah, I'm a doctor, yeah. So he's like Bones from the original series. Robert Picardo, man, yeah, because I don't like forced diversity. Tron Ares was loaded with that. I was like, why is this lead a Asian girl? She could have easily been something else. Being Asian added nothing to her character. And that bootleg Cynthia Erivo did nothing for me. She had that blonde hair, like bald headed look, and she's like never wants to die. It takes until the end of the movie for her to die. Spoiler. At least Alfred Woodard can act. I've seen her. See, they all got guns. It's worth getting because it has a commentary that I heard already. 12 shots. Let's go. Oh yes, I'm gonna do the Mario Galaxy when it's available on Blu-ray. I'm gonna do a podcast for it in a few months from now. So to hell with the critics. I'm not doing this for the critics. During the service, just looking bored. Drinking doesn't solve your problems, lady. It just fogs up your brain. She shut the music off. James Cromwell's so good in this movie. From Nemesis. No, booze is not good for your brain. Never drink it. Because the only person that worked on this movie that passed away was Jerry Goldsmith, who did the music. This is alive, really old, but alive. sounded drunk in the air, but I prefer Karen. Yes, Josh, I said it. You can say whatever you want. Oh, but she's Scottish again. She's a better looking woman. She has red hair and that expressive face and that paler skin, and also, you know, she doesn't sound drunk. And I saw her at the convention last year. I didn't take a picture with her, but I know what she looks like. Happy birthday, Christian Miracle. Be well, man. I know you went through a lot. Trust me, I went through mental anguish as well. You're plastered, lady. Plastered. Yep, she's out. There now we're back on the Enterprise in space. It's a good movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. It's aged really well, and it's fast paced for something that's over almost 2 hours. We're 32 minutes in already, and they've had more action than the Last Jedi's entire last act. Because it's not boring. It doesn't come to a screeching halt in the middle. They don't go to a casino planet, which is great because they didn't do that till Attack of the Clones. Hmm. Emotion chip. I used to have the toys from the Next Generation when I was a kid. I had I had Data and I had Jean Luc Picard. There's the Borg. That looks awesome. They still look amazing to this day. That's not CG. That's a lot of makeup and props and a costume. It looks absolutely amazing. It's gray, but it looks fantastic. Because nowadays they just make everything with CG. I'm like, guys, you can have real costumes. Superman had that from last year, and so did Guardians 3 and the Star Trek Beyond, and some other films as well. They had real costumes, real makeup effects. Yep, he pulled it right out of the socket. That was a joke, boy. You missed it. See a few jokes here and there, but not. They don't stop the scene to crack a joke like every 5 minutes, like some other films I've seen. There's levity, and that is being trying to be a comedy, and this is not a comedy. This isn't Spaceballs or Galaxy Quest. I wanted to do this movie for a long time, but this year was the perfect opportunity since it's 30 years old. Yep, neck snap. I do like. I think the Borgs are scarier than the Klingons. Yeah. No, not Data. So that makeup effect had to put him out of his misery. Yes, sir. And screw that Picard show that came out. He is so good in this. Yeah, suck on that, Cynthia Revo, and that knockoff version from the Acolyte. She's so intense, man. Alfred Woodard. I would love to meet her and say, you were really intense in this movie. I also really liked her in the gun in Betty Lou's handbag. She was good in that too. It was the guy in that movie that couldn't act his way out of a bag. I'll try to do a podcast for that movie, but I'll have to do stream it because I tried to do VR Warshawski and look what happened last year. I got a copyright infringement because of music. I'm like, I forgot there was music in that movie. From now on, if it's a movie that has copyrighted music, I have to use headphones. That's why I don't get busted for this. Because headphones, YouTube can't hear any of the music of that Jerry Goldsmith did, or that song that they had in the bar scene. Here's the Alice Krieg. 39 minutes in, she was in Sleepwalkers. An imperfect being. Did you hear that? Yeah, Cromwell is having a great time in this movie. It's good to see him smile because in some movies he takes it so seriously. Even Spider-Man 3, he barely smiles in that because he has nothing to do in that movie. He's in like two scenes in that movie. There's this Enterprise floating in space. It's no trick. Yep, an alien ship. Yes, sir. Because Frakes could direct and he is a good actor. So he has both. He has my name. Joshua Russell. What's up? Hey, John. So, what was your week? So far, the week is okay. It's better than last week. It's just really cold today. Star Trek First Contact is one of my favorite Star Trek films. And yeah, YouTube's copyright system is broken. Isn't broken. That's why I use headphones. I'm not going to ever get a copyright infringement ever again. Because Deadpool and Wolverine had a lot of copyrighted music, and I'm not going to get busted for that. Again, wink, wink. Title drop, Star Trek, wink, wink. See, it's being a little bit meta. I do like this franchise. I'm a casual fan. I'm not a Trekkie because I don't. I've never been to a Star Trek convention, and I never met an actor from Star Trek. I met actors from Star Wars and from some of the Marvel movies, and DC shows, and I met voice actors as well, but never a Star Trek actor. Maybe I want. Maybe I'm gonna get lucky this year, and Jonathan Frakes will go to the convention in a panel or something. That would be nice. Like if Star Trek First Contact gets a panel for say, how was it working on this awesome movie from 1996? You know, a time where people weren't hating each other as much and movies were cheaper in the theater and physical media was all over the place. We had VHS, Laserdisc, and DVD was about to come out in the US. I got to take these socks off. They're all sweaty. Ugh. Hold on. Ah, much better. Those dogs are barking today. I got to just put some fresh socks now. This is a good movie. It's a great movie. One of the best of the series. I just love Mario Galaxy more because I laughed more and it's got the fan service that I want. And I'm more of a fan of Mario than Star Trek. We're 44 minutes in. The Borgs did. They're the villains in this movie, and they're very scary. Their co- their look is yeah. What I do when I do a movie, it's reviews. They're about 20 minutes long. I want it simple and straightforward, no copyright crap. The game reviews are no problems too. Yeah, because if I show footage, I will get a copyright infringement. That's why I don't show footage in my podcast because I don't want people to see. Plus, with YouTube, you can't show nudity, you can't show blood or gore or graphic violence of any kind. And there's certain things that they bleep out. I'm like, I don't want to live in a censored world, okay, YouTube? I can say what I want and do what I want as long as it's not illegal. Her eyes are so intense, man. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Lily, like the baby from the Loud House and the Really Loud House. She's the cute one, the young cute one. This score is amazing, man. Thanks, Jerry Goldsmith. I miss you, man. Thanks for giving us so many iconic musical scores. Because I don't know what happened to him when he worked with James Cameron. He did Avatar, and then he disappeared. And then he died after that. Score is so inspiring, man. It makes it feel it soothes my body, man. It does. I still prefer John Williams because his music was a part of my whole childhood. E.T., Jaws, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future. Well, no, he didn't do Back to the Future. He did that was Alan Silvestri, or Hook, or even Harry Potter. I do like the scores of the original Harry Potter movies. Not that show that's going to come out in December. I have no interest whatsoever. It's just gonna it's going to be the exact same thing except with less effort. And even if they do more things from the book, is it going to be better? No, it definitely won't look better. There's Alice Krieg's character. It's a great effect. Look at that! Look at that awesome animatronic head. It's a great effect. And there's her body. Also, yeah, I like Predator Badlands. Josh was like everybody hated it. Why? Because it was PG-13. It was not a bad movie. I didn't like the Yautja language, but again, I'm lazy. When it comes to watching a sci-fi movie, I don't want to read subtitles. This doesn't have subtitles. That is a really cool design. Again, take that, Alien Romulus. I mean, not Alien Romulus, Alien Covenant and Prometheus. You don't even look this good. This movie came out like 2 decades before Prometheus, and it still looks better. It's not up its own anus like some movies, because Ridley Scott hasn't made a good movie in years, dude. I think The Martian was one of his last good films. I want to see The Martian. This season, I want to see more sci-fi stuff, whether it be in space or another planet, or time traveling, or like a bunch of battle aliens or whatever. Just if it's sci-fi, I'm all for it. That makeup must have taken hours to put on her because she covered her whole head, red hair. Hmm. Endoskeleton. Hair follicles. 150 like Pokemon. At the time, there was 151 Pokemon. Now we got like hundreds of thousands of these things. Like Smorgasbord. 24. Wow. Really? Yeah, it's like nowadays. And oh, I wish, because nowadays you don't have a credit card or debit card, you could barely make purchases anymore because everything went paperless and contactless and uh cashless. Why would you do that to me? They just made a law that they have to accept cash in most stores. Yeah. So suck on that. I'm sick and tired of having to pay with, gift cards and credit cards and things like that. And definitely practical. That's why this movie is so good, and there's movies nowadays that just don't even hit the mark. Well, she's scared. I don't blame her. These androids are pretty creepy. It's not Vision looked less threatening than this. Hello. Burn 'em, dun. Man, that's awesome. So they scanned them. She looks great. You saw her. So it's a simulation. Wow. See, he's dancing with a black girl, and they don't dwell on it. See, and Josh says that everybody's racist now. Not everybody. Back in the 90s, they were more accepting of this because interracial couples exist. Get over yourselves. That's like the Rocketeer. I want to do a podcast for that because it's the 35th anniversary of that movie. I'll probably do it next week. Oh, she likes older men. Patrick Stewart just sells it, man. No, I like black girls more. I'm sorry. Hey, that's the guy from that 70s show. This is all a simulation. These Borgs are not. They mean business. They're not here to crack jokes. Tommy gun. Remember the mask? Yeah, that was in the 1930s. That was pretty awesome. It's okay. He's so good, man. This movie's such a classic now. It really is. It's one. A lot of critics and audiences said that this is one of the best Star Trek movies. It's my favorite easily because Wrath of Khan is a great film, but it's a little bit slow. Like Khan doesn't do anything until the second half of the film. He's mostly just taunting. He's mostly taunting Kirk, and then he does something. Hmm. That that triangle. What a great, what a great flick, man! I love this movie so much. Yeah, Neil Madonna's the only actor I don't care for in this movie, but he doesn't. He's not in any of the action scenes. He's just kind of in the background. Him and Marina Sirtis are just like kind of there. LeVar Burton. I remember he used to be in the Reading Rainbow show back in the 80s and the early 90s. I used to watch that show to learn about reading, because I want to read more in the spring and summer, whether it be a comic book or a novel or just something, something that I should read, not subtitles in a movie. Let me lie down because we still got another hour to go, so it's a long movie, but not too long. It's not 2.5 hours. Look at that eye. He's fanboying. I love that scene in Civil War when uh when Paul Rudd, Ant Man is shaking Captain America's hand. Yeah, this is it's a relatable moment, guys. You got to embrace your wins. It's easy. It's hard to embrace your failures, but it's also easy to embrace your wins. That was a win for all of us fans. It does. A statue. Again, bathroom breaks. Yes. Make sure the volume is up. Yeah, it's up. Yeah. Yeah, urinate, piss. We all have to do our business. He has such a cool voice, Worf. He really does. The Delta Quadrant. Because I'm a nerd. I will always be a nerd. I live in a nerd kingdom with a bunch of other people that go to Comic Con every year. Can't wait to go to Brooklyn Comic Con in June. I'm a little groggy because I got a shot yesterday. I got a HPV shot, my first dosage. I'm gonna get another one in about 2 months, and then my third dose is in 6 months after that. So at the end of the year, that's cool. His eyes are like a zoom, like a camera zoom. And this is where the series kind of peaked for me with the next generation because the next movie was just dull. Insurrection was just so slow and boring. And Nemesis, it's got some good action in it. I just don't like Tom Hardy as the villain. I just think he's miscast because this is young Tom Hardy before he worked with Christopher Nolan in Inception and The Dark Knight Rises, and before he turned into a cartoon when he was Venom. It was kind of just like subdued, you know. They're in space. Also, this movie doesn't have a $200 million budget like some other films do now, where there's too much money on. The money's not on the screen. A lot of it is just CG and to pay big actors to just mug for the camera. This was done better. Yeah, he's an android. He's like C-3PO. Well, he's a robot. He's a protocol droid. Well, like C-3PO is not running away all the time. He actually fights organic. Yeah. Now we got AI. Yep. Yep, there he goes. Trying to escape. Data will fight if he has to. Like Vision. A force field. He feels pain. Pain and suffering. Trust me, I got my arm cut many times in the past. It hurts. Movies were simpler in the 90s. They didn't have to try so hard. Nowadays movies are trying so hard to be preachy, and I'm like, that's what I hate about films now. Actors like Chris Pratt and not Mark Wahlberg try so hard to shove it in your face. I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't usually watch them on screen. Mario's an exception because Mario was great. And Mario was actually, he's still the main character of his own movie. He's not sidelined, at least. Sexuality. We're an hour in, an hour and 5 minutes. lips. Yep, they can kiss. They have lips. Antiprotons. Do you hear that, folks? It's a good performance by James Cromwell. Yep, phased him right in the back of his shoulder. It is a good performance. It's something that they could never copy in a movie today. If they did a Star Trek movie today or like the next 3 years, Cromwell is just one of a kind, man. He really is. He really is a great actor. He really is. They wasted him in something like Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. Why would you waste him? You know John Hammond is dead, right? Richard Attenborough passed away a long time ago. Why would you try to say that he had a friend? No, he didn't. John Hammond only had, his grandchildren and the people in the first movie to interact with. This is worth doing a podcast for because again, it's under 2 hours. Most of these Star Trek movies are, but some of them I think are 2 hours. Like the J.J. Abrams ones were because he has to put so many characters in the first two films. Because Into Darkness was over 2 hours. It didn't need to be that long. Because the second half of the movie is a ripoff of Wrath of Khan, and I did not appreciate that. You didn't do it better, Abrams. The director of two did a better job than you did. That's why Beyond is my favorite of the three Star Trek movies from the 2000s and the early 2010s because Abrams did not direct it. It was Justin Lin, and he did a much better job. And he did fan service that worked without feeling forced. And he dedicated the movie in Leonard Nimoy and Anton Yelchin's memory. Yep, look, computer chips, cards. Because Guardians 3 was great, but it's too long. It felt long. It could have been like 20 minutes shorter. I don't know why they had to stretch it out and put so many characters we didn't care about that were side characters. And a villain that's too over the top. Alex Krieg is not screaming in this movie. She's giving a creepy yet powerful performance in that makeup and in that costume. She's not screaming every 2 seconds because I hated that guy so much. Yep, there's some blood in the movie. His suit got burst, got a hole in it. There, they got the access enabled. Yep, you gotcha. You're not gonna make it to insurrection. Look at that. Because Neil Madonna doesn't show up in the other films, or in the other TV series, or in the J.J. Abrams movies. It's a tense scene in space because there's no gravity in space. Yep, time to fly. Whee! Some sci-fi film directors thought overlong running times would help the films become the next Avengers Endgame. No, I want to see Project Hail Mary, but it doesn't need to be 2 hours and 36 minutes. The you know the Lord and Miller need to make movies that are shorter. I know they didn't direct Spider Verse, but they got to stop making movies so long. Because I remember the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street. They're a little bit long, but they're not 2.5 hours, guys. That's way too long. It just feels long for no reason. I don't like movies. You're never gonna top Endgame. That's still one of the most successful movies of all time, and no Marvel movie has come close to being as awesome. There's always a flaw that makes it less perfect than Endgame. Because Spider-Man: No Way Home was awesome, but it had too many characters in it. I loved Deadpool and Wolverine, but the villains suck. Multiverse of Madness, the villain was just kind of there. The Baron Mordo should have been the villain. I loved Guardian Street, but it was too long, and again, the villains sucked. Yeah, hell yeah, that was a great line. See, he's fun, man. 50 million people. Wow, that's more than that's more than how many people live in New York City. We're supposed to have 8 million, but we're to like 13 million by now. Yep. I have a vision that Comic Con's going to be even better this year than it was last year. I know it. Again, I get it, James Cromwell. I did. Again, me too. Because that's almost an hour. So intense. See, this is when he wears the red shirt. Yes, sir. The third act has to have some kind of action scene. See, the acting is wow. This is intense, man. It works, man, because he has to have authority. He's the captain, just like Captain Kirk was in the original series. Yep, she insults him. Oh man, because he was a Borg. He was a Borg in the series. I haven't seen that season. I know. I, s- I saw clips from it, but I haven't seen that whole series of the Borg saga in the Next Generation. Mm-hmm. That's from Moby Dick. Yeah, I don't think books are going to exist in 10 years. Yep, Kylo Ren, everybody. He's angry again, but it's justified. He was a Borg. Man, this movie's so intense. It's, the line must be drawn here. So good, man. Yep, he's determined, man. I'll give him that. Even Kirk wasn't this overly emotional. With Khan, he was, but not in the later films. Hmm. Yep, it did. Now we're 83 minutes in. We only got a few more minutes until the movie's over because it's an hour and 50. So we're that's 110 minutes. So we're almost there. It's about 20 minutes left. Let's get this done, man. You got that? Let's get a music. This and Tomorrow Never Dies are 90s films that really hold up. Mostly because they don't feel like they're up their own anus like a lot of movies today. These movies aren't like they want to be fun anymore. They just want to be deep and thought provoking but boring. And they have actors that can't act as the leads. That's why so many movies flopped this year. We didn't need a remake of Wuthering Heights. There was already several versions of it. Mm. Oh yeah, buddy. F through Z. It's a good score, man. It's a really good score. I'll never forget it. He can sense data. Oh yeah, but he's got a lot of personality. He's got a lot of personality. I love that. You're gonna blast into space. Why not turn on some tunes? The Guardians do it all the time. We know Star Lord's not gonna come back. He's not gonna be in Doomsday. Maybe Secret Wars, but that's a year from now. So he's probably the most fun character in the movie. That's not from the show. And I'm glad they didn't make him the villain. That would have been just that would have insulted me because I love James Cromwell as an actor. It's really good. He was barely in Species Two, but I did the first Species. I'll probably do Species Two some other time. Yeah, he's in space because Picard they give him a love interest in the next movie. It's just not as it's not as good. Hmm. It's a good. It's this is really solid, man. I watched this and I'm like, wow, why can't sci-fi movies be like this under 2 hours? Again, because they're like, it's studio mandating. No, what mandate was originally Project Hail Mary was going to be like 3 hours long, but no, the studio said you cannot release a 3 hour movie. You're going to bore the audience to death. So make it 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's good enough. You don't have to go any longer. Because then when movies are too long, I feel it. Like the Transformer sequels or Pirates, or even the extended cut of The Hobbit. I saw both of them now. They're long, guys. They're a long. They're not an easy casual sit through. They're really not. That's why they were not released in theaters. The extended cuts of The Hobbit. They did the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings, but not The Hobbit. This movie's so personal. There's the Borg ship. I love a visual spectacle just as much as the next guy, but you have to have a good characters and a decent a passable story at best. You don't need to have the deepest story. What makes this deep is the you know the Borg storyline. That's what people were connected to. That's why it worked. You're the mom from Sleepwalkers. Does he? Let it go. Exactly. I do movies that are hits and also movies that flop because it doesn't matter what happened with the film. If I have a physical copy of it, I can do a podcast for it. No strings attached, no questions asked, no fear. Josh was like, if I do this, no one's gonna see it. Again, you got to take a chance. I do that all the time. I only postponed this podcast because again, I couldn't do it yesterday. I had some things to do. I had to do the laundry. I miss villains that are compelling that don't have to yell so much. Thanos was like that. He was mostly calm. He only yelled like once in Infinity War and at the end of Endgame. Like, dude, just do it. Again, that's called epic acting, not the sky like the idiot in Guardians 3. I'm like, what was that? What is wrong with you? Why are you screaming? I'm not deaf. I can hear everything. No, don't do it. Yes, sir. Score so epic. And these effects still hold up. This is 30 years old, guys. 30. I was 11 when this came out, and I'm like, this looks fantastic, man. There's some CG, but it doesn't look dated and horrendous like that Lost in Space movie. Ugh. I love how James Cromwell says his lines. He just says it with such conviction, man. This is why I love sci-fi so much, guys, because it just goes for it. I got to do Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire, but I'll probably do that next week because I would do it in May, but the Asian girl can't talk, so hmm so I would just rather put it in this month if I can, because in May I want to do a Japanese Godzilla movie that I haven't done yet. There's several I haven't done. I do take a chance. You need to, because you know no one gets ahead in life by just running away from their problems. The viewership, I don't care about the viewership. My Mario review is getting hundreds of views because people care and they see the passion I have for this franchise. It's futile. I'm not scared, but people judge. They judge. So what? I keep going. Some people could give this podcast a hundred thumbs down. It's not going to bring me down. I'm still doing this. That's why I'm doing one per franchise, so I don't burn myself out. Because last year I did so many that I'm like, yeah, I need to take it easy this year. I'd only do one per franchise, so it's not as overwhelming. I gotcha. You have a movie, do it. It's not like YouTube's gonna shut you down. That's great. Cromwell, you're a gem, man. You are a legend. You and Patrick Stewart. You're the oldest actors in this movie, and just mwah, I love it. Because he has personality. See, that's what Abrams didn't do with Star Wars. Instead of giving Luke, Han, and Leia personality like they had in the original, they made them boring. Yeah, suck it, J.J. Abrams. You and your stupid writers and Kathleen Kennedy, who's gone now. And yes, I'm going to review Star Wars Shadow Lord, Maul Shadow Lord, because I'm not scared of the toxic fan base. They can suck it. Just like the people that hated this movie. Every person that hated that movie can suck it. Oh, there's too many characters. What about the Spider-Verse movies? Oh, I don't know what was going on. Again, if you never played the games, you're going to be lost. I did, so I've lived these games. I didn't just play it, I lived it. Yeah, I lived it. When I first played Mario Galaxy in the 2010s, it blew my freaking mind, man. And it wasn't because of the plot, it was because of the gameplay and the entertainment value. That's what got me into that game and the sequel. Yeah. When this movie makes $1 billion, I'm gonna laugh right in your faces. You stupid critics that don't understand how important Mario is to the whole freaking world, dude. It's gonna make more than Superman. It's already made 300 over $400 million worldwide, and it's only been out for a week. A week ago, history was made, and it's gonna make more history before Michael comes out and at the end of April. I can't wait to get that movie on Blu-ray. I'm going to see it a lot, and I'm going to be doing these stupid faces to the critics and giving them this because this is what they deserve. Bunch of hackney, pretentious hacks. Yeah, a lot of critics love this movie, but it's well deserved because this movie is a classic from the '90s. I love this movie. I will always watch this movie with a smile on my face because I'm like, it's action packed. It's got great acting. The effects still hold up. The costumes are great. The score is amazing. The villain is not in the first 30 minutes, but when she shows up, you feel the threat. Look, look, a Terminator skull. This is a few years after T2 and before T3, etc. That's right. Break that freaking spinal cord. Yeah. It's a really good effect, man. These effects are just like, again, suck at War of the Worlds 2025. You don't know what a good sci-fi movie is. You made a movie with a Zoom call. It's not a movie. I could have made a better movie in my backyard with my phone. Yeah. Look at that face. No, I'm not sorry. Alice Krieg in this she was unique, but she's and creepy, but she's the villain, so she had to die. Villains don't need sympathy. You don't have to feel sympathetic for a villain. They're supposed to be bad and they have to be taken down. That's what matters in a movie, TV show, or even in a comic book. Man, this movie's so good, man. You should rewatch it, Josh. You got to stop being like on edge all the time. You don't need to. You're not on trial. No one's gonna put you in prison. No one, because they know how you are. This is worth it. This won't be the last Star Trek movie I do. I'm not on trial. 100 minutes in, an hour and 40. That guy looks like Kurt Russell in The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, not the original Thing from Another World or that terrible prequel. See, sci-fi can be engaging. It could be intriguing, and it doesn't have to have the deepest plots either. This has a deep plot more than Mario, but the thing is, it's longer. It's much longer, and there's a lot of characters in it. Look, there's a Vulcan. It's not Spock. It's a different Vulcan, I think. You don't need to be 3 hours to be epic. That's why Avatar didn't make as much as the first two, because Fire and Ash was just too long. James Cameron can't make a 2 hour movie anymore. He has to go for three. Three people. There's never been a Star Trek movie or Star Wars movie that was 3 hours because it doesn't need to be. That's too long. Endgame was 3 hours with the end credits. Without it, it was 2:49. Hello. I want to see The Housemaid. Yeah, I have it on Stars. I'm going to stream it. Man, this movie's so good. This score just I don't get emotional with this movie, Josh, because excuse me, I need some water. I haven't drank water in hours. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm not as emotionally attached to Star Trek as I am to Star Wars or Back to the Future or ET. ET just that John Williams score kills me, man. I love this score. Thank you, Jerry Goldsmith. Thanks, man. So good, man. I don't get emotional. You should, Josh. One day you're gonna get so emotional, you're gonna take your glasses off and rub your eyes. Even Clyde can get emotional. Thanks, Leonard Nimoy. Again, also may you rest in peace. Yes. And prosper. Yes, sir. I will live long and prosper. Thank you. I love this. The greatest signal in the history of Star Trek, guys. Fingers out, put them out, and like this. The Vulcans, yeah. There are Vulcans in the movie, but they're just cameos and it's not Spock. It's yeah, so good, man. See, people getting together that are different. I love the Vulcans so much because they're so calm and they're peaceful, mostly a peaceful race. They did this also in Back to the Future. I am a extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan. Even though Darth Vader's from Star Wars, not Star Trek. Yeah, I always see me cry. You're going to, Josh. One day, if you see Michael and you get emotional, I get it because we all miss him. His music's gonna live in our hearts forever. Frontier, wink, wink. The final frontier. Cheek kiss. It's more of a respectful kiss, like they do in Italy. Yep, beam me up, Scotty, but there's no Scotty here because this is a different timeline. I got emotional in Rocky Four. I wasn't expecting that, but again, Sylvester Stallone's speech at the end just it inspires me, man. It does. When something hits you, it hits you hard. I didn't even cry in Endgame, mainly because I was so like wrapped with different emotions. It was hard to get to cry in that because I was so pumped. This is still the best Star Trek movie from the next generation, easily, without question. Yep, Warp. And James Cromwell did a great performance in this movie. You saw the Vulcans are drinking. They dance. It's like the ending of Guardians 3. Now they'd rather just drink. The Vulcans don't. Ooby dooby. Yeah, it ends with a song. This is a great movie, man. If you haven't watched this movie, watch it on Paramount Plus. It is worth your time. It's one of the best movies in the series. My personal favorite. As much as I love Wrath of Khan, and I don't own it. I will eventually own it because it's a great movie as well. This is still awesome, man. Woo! I love this movie so much. Ah, I love that score so much too. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. When was the last time you talked to Brian, Josh? He's still on YouTube, but he's too political now. He loves Star Trek. He always says live long and prosper and have a nice day. But I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies of the 90s, easily. I love this movie more than Independence Day, mostly because it's about 30 minutes shorter. And it's just so epic. I love every frame of this movie. It held up. It's still very entertaining to watch. And if you've never watched it, stream it. If you must watch it, stream it like right now because it is worth your time, man. What a classic. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care. No podcast tomorrow. I want to take a little break. I'll just see a movie on the side. And maybe Friday I'll do another podcast, but we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Live long and prosper. And let Star Trek live for all time. Yeah. See ya.